Welcome back to the State of Soy. Conservation is important in agriculture, and there are many farmers doing great things to leave their land better than they found it. One farmer topping the list for conservation efforts is Wayne Fredericks of Osage, Iowa, a farmer who is leaving a legacy of conservation.
It was 28 years ago, about this exact time, when our landscape at that time looked like it did here. We have corn stalks and everything, but at that time we were a conventional operation. We always fall plowed our corn stalks ahead of soybeans. And we froze up early that winter. We couldn't get our plowing done. And I was sitting here in December in a quandary wondering what the heck we were going to do that coming spring. And I just happened to read an article in Farm Journal magazine there in December issue about a farmer in southwest Minnesota that was no-tilling soybeans with a John Deere 750 drill. In January that year, I visited my John Deere dealer, and he was happened to getting one in. They were going to try it on their farms, and said if I wanted to use it, I sure could, and we did. It worked beautifully, and we never looked back. No-till soybeans is the easiest first step you can take, and we never saw any yield loss. We saw improved profits because we had reduced tillage passes. We had labor savings, we had fuel savings, and it worked well. The yields were as good or better. So it was one of those aha moments that just happened to come along. I say I was an accidental conservationist because it wasn't by any means something that I sought, it's just something that happened. But the cover crops became more of an awareness type of adoption. We were sitting here in June of 2008, and we were totally flooded out here, water within 50 feet of the house. A day later, Charles City was seeing the same type of flooding on the Cedar River, and 5 days later, Cedar Rapids, Iowa was inundated with the worst flood in history. And it just started to roll around in my mind that, the practices that we have on our farm, and at that time it was no-till and strip-till, they affected not only the quantity and quality of the water for Cedar Rapids, but it definitely plays a big factor for those people. If we can make our soils more like a sponge, that could have a huge benefit to them. I always wanted to lead by example. Even when we were doing conventional agriculture, we wanted to do it well, to have fields out there you could be proud of. And the more you saw how it could work, the more you wanted to do. And you could see it emulate to the bottom line, but that wasn't the main reason you done it. The main reason you done it is because it filled your goals of being a better person, making this country, this farm, surrounding community a more resilient, better community than it was when you first started farming. So I think it's kind of like maybe leaving a bit of a legacy in a way, and I found conservation was my direction that I wanted to leave, a legacy. Now it's my goal was being somewhat like of an educator to help others do the same.